The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. Amen, I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest letter or the smallest part of a letter will pass from the law until all things have taken place. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys and teaches these commandments will be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven. I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you, whoever is angry with a brother will be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, 'Raca,' will be answerable to the Sanhedrin. And whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to fiery Gehenna. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there recall that your brother has anything against you, leave your gift there at the altar. Go first and be reconciled with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Settle with your opponent quickly while on the way to court. Otherwise, your opponent will hand you over to the judge, and the judge will hand you over to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Amen, I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny. You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I say to you, everyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one of your members than to have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one of your members than to have your whole body go into Gehenna. It was also said, 'Whoever divorces his wife must give her a bill of divorce.' But I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, causes her to commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Again, you have heard it said to your ancestors, 'Do not take a false oath, but make good to the Lord all that you say.' But I say to you, do not swear at all, not by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Do not swear by your head, for you cannot make a single hair white or black. Let your yes mean yes, and your no mean no. Anything more is from the evil one." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise the Lord, Jesus Christ. This is the question. Is the law a ceiling or is it a floor? Is the law an ending point or is it a starting point? That's the difference between how the Jewish religious leaders and Jesus saw the law. The Jewish religious leaders saw the law as a ceiling. It was a limit. It told them how much they had to do and when they were finished. The law provided that limit. It told them when they had fulfilled their obligation. It was a ceiling. You do this much, and you have to do no more. Once they had done that, they could, in good conscience, just ignore everyone around them. They had helped enough. They had forgiven enough. They were done. The temptation when seeing the law as a ceiling is to look for loopholes, ways that the limits of the law can be used to our advantage. Well, the law says I can't help you today. The law says these resources are dedicated to God, so I can't share them with you. Jesus saw the law as a floor, a starting point. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say a jumping off point. The law was a springboard to propel us forward to do more. We start with looking at exterior actions, and then we move toward internal feelings and attitudes. We are working our way toward love of others. The only command Jesus ever gave is to love others. It may take us a while to get there, but we need to be moving in that direction. We can't let the limits of the law stop us. We need to always be looking for ways to love more deeply. We begin Lent this week, and there's that age-old question of what will we give up for Lent? And we often do what I refer to as sacrificial calculus, okay? Now, we've got to give something up. We want it to be tough, but we don't want it to be too tough, you know? We want to have a chance to get through Lent. So sometimes the question then becomes, what can I give up for 6 weeks and still survive? Right? Or maybe, what can all those around me survive me giving up for 6 weeks? That too has to be part of the consideration. Maybe there's another way to look at Lent as a time to go deeper, a time to love more deeply. Maybe it's a matter of trying to control our anger, or at least not hang on to it so long. Maybe it's a time to look at being more honest in everything we say. Maybe it's just about trying to love even when it's really tough. That could make Lent not just a time to survive, and it would then make Easter not just the finish line when I get to go back to whatever I did before, but it would make Lent a starting point, a jumping off point, a time to look at changes that might have an impact on our lives and make our lives better. And that could have an impact far longer than the next 40 days.